Hello everyone, my name is Yueting Zhao. You can call me Yueting. I'm the freshman of biological science. And today I would like to introduce the ideas of Chinese Asian philosophies, and I will focus on four popular philosophies. They are Confucianism, Taoism, legalism, and Moralism. Well, let's start. I will just share my screen quickly. Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, first, let's imagine if you can choose the world you live in, which kind of ideal world would you prefer to live in? I will introduce you four kind of ideal worlds. The first one is the people in this world are absolutely free and there's no state or country, this sort of concept here. People are all live in beautiful nature with several friendly families. There's no pressure or fear competition. Also, you can follow the most healthy lifestyle and pursue the spiritual sanctification. This is word A. And for word B, the people in this world are absolutely equal, and justice is the most common character of people in here. They love each other without any difference, like loving others' children as their own children, respecting others' parents as their own parents. They love the world so much that they might even satisfy themselves to save the world. Also, productivity and efficiency are prioritized in here. However, waste and war are opposed or against. Then let's talk about word C. This is a centralized, law-based society. Reasons and laws are the keystones of everything. The social rules, including corresponding general rewards or punishments, are recorded all by laws or code. The government would organize legal education in the communities regularly, requiring everyone to know and practice the law. Then finally, the D. This is a moral-based society. Family is the base unit of this society, and morality is the certification of here. People in here are relatively equal and full of empathy. They follow the moral rules of society and value education and ethics a lot. So, imagine if you can have a choice about among these four ideal worlds, which ideal world would you prefer to live in? A, B, C, or D? I'm gonna start a polling, so you can give me your answer here. Okay, I'm gonna share the result with you. We can see most people here chose A as their ideal world because probably they prefer to live in the nature or having the very relaxed lifestyle. Gonna stop share and let's continue. So actually, these four traces represent the ideal world of these four Chinese Asian philosophies: Taoism, Moralism, legalism, and Confucianism. As we can see, I put some keyword here to show their characteristics. For example, for Taoism, it prefers absolutely free and no the state or countries or government's concept, and people live in beautiful nature with a few families. For Mohism, most people in here are absolutely equal, and justice, equality, mutual respect, and love are very common in here. People love each other without any difference, and they're against waste and war. Productivity and efficiency are favored in here. C for legalism, well, it's a centralized law-based society. Reasons our laws are important in here. Finally, Confucianism. I believe most of you are very familiar with Confucianism. It prefers a moral-based society. People are relatively equal and are full of empathy to each other. They value education, ethic, and other social rules. So as we can see, these thoughts are quite different. However, they all originate from a similar period, which is the spring and autumn period and the warring period. During this age, it is an age of division and diversity actually, because many thoughts are emerged. However, the states are divided because the royal family's power declined. At the same time, the lords started to become independent by themselves and start to govern their lands by themselves. So in this age of division, many thoughts emerged to help the states or the lords to govern their states and provide some advice for their policies. Also, in this period, there are not only just wars, but also some uh, policies that are very famous. So it is also sort of a period of properties. And this kind of division was ended by Qing dynasty, and the person called Qin Shi Huang, which directly can translate to the first emperor of Qing dynasty, unified the lands. You can see all of these states and established the Qing dynasty. During this period, the thoughts are very diverse. So how can they thought to increase their influence among all of these states? So they have two rules. First one is to write book or wrote articles. You can see here they wrote in bamboos, and the articles can be a transfer between lords and other scholars, so they can become famous because they are articles. Also, they can teach students. So if like thoughts or philosophy have more students, that means these thoughts have higher possibilities to pass on, and more people probably will know these thoughts as well. So when a thought or philosophy became very famous, they also can choose whether they can form their own organization, like a civil organizations with their students or followers, or they can follow a lord or king of the state and show their loyalty to them and provide suggestions and advice. At the same time, they can practice their thoughts or philosophies in like making the politics policies for this state. Okay, let's guess which thoughts helped the Qing dynasty, Qing state to unify other states and establish the first federal dynasty of China. I'm gonna start the polling as well. Okay, you can see it now. Okay, the result shows that most people chose Confucianism. Well, I'm gonna stop polling. Okay, let's see if that is correct. Well, however, unfortunately, it wasn't Confucianism that helped Qing dynasty to unify other states. However, it was legalism. Well, legalism is like as representative persons helped Qing dynasty to make some very important policies for Qing states, and that's significantly promote the power of Qing states. And for example, for foreign states, it stimulate the soldiers to fight and kill enemies and rewarding them very gorgeous monies and lands, honors, and even heritable titles. This sort of stimulation mechanism triggered the brave, fearless, and powerful Qing armies. So, which brings the Qing very strong military power. For domestic governance, the laws restrain the people's behavior and promote internal social stabilities of the state of Qing. For example, at that time, they may group 10 families in one group called one shi. And one shi, if one person in these 10 families probably is a criminal and obeys the law, all of the people in these 10 families will be punished as well. So that could uh, greatly stop the chance that people like family members or friends or neighbors hide each other from the crimes. So that is very effective. However, Qing dynasty doesn't last so long, although they had these very strong laws. But this like stimulation mechanism may lost its function after the Qing dynasty, after the Qing state unified the land. But the strict laws will let people feel very stressful, and they hated the very strict and harsh punishments. So only after 14 years, Qing dynasty was destroyed, and other forces came in and want to become the emperor. For example, this person is called Chen Sheng. He was the leader of the first farmer revolution at that time. He said, this sentence means whether you are a king or prime minister uh, or a noble family, there you are different. You are no different from us. So with this kind of belief and feeling, everyone in there started to fight for power and fight for the crown because they all had the chance to become the emperor as the Qing dynasty fell. And finally, Liu Bang, who was a winner among this chaos, became the founder of Han Dynasty and the first emperor of the Han Dynasty. Actually, in Han Dynasty, they got a policy called uh, Confucianism only, and it was established in the seventh emperor of Han Dynasty. Because of this policy, other philosophies were thus declined or changed its form under the pressure of the government. So why Confucianism is favored by the emperor? Because of its stability. We can see here, this is the picture of Confucius, and at the same time, these are his students, and they all provide have a great influence in Confucianism. And because not only just Confucius, but also the pushing with his students, all of these people finally creates Confucianism, and it can not only help the rulers or the emperor to stabilize their position, like their governing, but also their benefit for the population. the common people as well because of its promoting education for common people. So the common people also got a chance to get education. Also, the common people, they taught the kings to love their people. So people are sort of benefit from Confucianism as well. As we can see, Confucianism built a tie from the upper classes or the emperor with the common people, like in the middle or low classes. So that's make the society more stable. So probably that's why it is favored by Han Di, who made the policy of Confucianism only. Then I would like to talk about Mohism. Actually, Mohism and Taoism are quite different from like legalism or Confucianism. The previous philosophies are very related to the ruling classes because they represent the ruling classes, whether the old lords or the new lords. However, Mohism, they represent the common people, like the farmers or the workers. So that's why it's sort of different from the previous two. Mohism established their own organisms, civil organism in common people, and that's also different from the previous two because the previous two was founded by the government or the emperor directly. Well, when we talk about Mohism, we must firstly talk about its founder, Mozi. Mozi is a very special, and I think he is a legendary in that period because he was not only like can write lots of famous articles to express his idea of universal love and peace, but also he was a scientist, engineer, and inventor. He invented lots of such engineer equipment to stop war, which is to practice his ideal concept. In here, I wrote 兼爱非攻, which means universal love and peace or against war. 墨子 thought war is very stupid because war will decrease the total benefit of all humans. So it is better for not having war, but every people love each other and build the most stable and great society. However, although Mozi is very powerful, invented lots of things, and discovered many scientific theories, but Mohism was declined because I think there are three reasons for that. The first one is its ideal concept are very difficult for the people at that age to understand and practice at that age with a low production level. Second, that may increase the social instability different from Confucianism because Mohism, a group of people, were an organization that was uncontrolled by the government. And they love to fight and protect the people in difficulties. So that might brought like social instabilities for their government. Third, probably it declined because it's rigid thoughts and blind loyalty, which is not beneficial for the survival as being a philosophy. In here, I showed some like invention of Mozi. You can see he was an expert of engineers, especially stage engineers. So very fantastic things here you can see. Yeah, so Mohism protects lots of states from wars using this invention invented by Mozi. So there are lots of fantastic stories because we had no time for today. You can search it after this presentation or contact me directly as well. Then finally, I would like to talk about Taoism. Actually, Taoism is the earliest philosophy founded in China. And Lao Tzu, one of the representatives of Taoism, was once the teacher of Confucius. So we can see Taoism is really early and early history of China. So what Taoism is talking about is mainly its core is related to following the nature, enjoy the freedom, and focus on your own spiritual world. And it has a state like a state that ruling a country by doing nothing is the best. 无为而治. And actually, it's not really doing nothing, but just following the nature, following the people's hearts, and you will rule a country best. Also, it prefers small countries and few people, and I think that is because of the emerged background of Taoism. When Taoism was emerged, there isn't so many people, and in at that time, and people are usually live in small countries or small states, and didn't form a very large empire at the time. So that's why probably Taoism prefer small countries with few people. However, these ideas was not selected by the kings or lords during the warring state period, especially in the flames of wars. However, it attracted many other students and people to follow their ideas and believe in their philosophies. After the Han Dynasty, because of the only Confucianism policy, many philosophies declined, and Taoism turned its focus on philosophy and the understanding of life instead of governing policies. So it was away from Confucianism, and it occupied another like biological niche sort of thing during that social period. So as a result, Confucianism, Taoism, legalism, and Mohism. These are the ideas and thoughts from the people thousands of years ago. They embodied, evolved, prospered, and were declined. We may be able to criticize some ideas of them or learn some things from them to build our own values and thoughts about this world. So that their philosophies was your own philosophy. Thank you. That's all about my presentation. So do you have any questions? You can type it on the chat box or directly speak up and I will answer your question. We still have 4 minutes. Okay. It seems like no one has questions for now. However, welcome to contact me by my email. This is my email. If you have any thoughts or something you want to discuss with me or questions, feel free to contact me and or just say hi. It's okay. Well, this is my email. Thank you for taking time to listen my presentation today. I hope you had some new thoughts about Chinese Asian philosophies and your own philosophies. Thank you.